We all look for medical salvation in one form or another. Well, enter the medbed. They've yet to exist, but apparently they are coming, and they'd like some of our money up front. Jonathan Jarry is with the McGill Office for Science and Society. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi.
So, Jonathan, what will these med beds be able to do for us?
Anything and everything. Most people hawking questionable pseudo-medical interventions, they will stop short of saying that they can regrow limbs. But med beds or medical beds, they can regrow limbs. They can heal all diseases. They can de-age you. The images that I've seen online, they're all fake because med beds don't exist. So they are AI generated. They kind of look like Star Trek sickbay beds or those stasis pods from the movie series Alien. And we are told we all soon will be able to use them.
Now, these beds have yet to exist, but they use all kinds of terminology, right, that's associated with pseudoscience?
Yeah, so I see countless groups on Facebook that talk about them, how the militaries of the world are all cooperating around their rollouts. We will all get a phone call. And the way in which these beds are said to work is exactly the kinds of words that we should all be very skeptical of when used in the realm of medicine. Things like frequencies and resonances and quantum technology. They are real words for real things in physics, but they're used here to give a sheen of futurism to a miraculous device that does not exist, unfortunately.
Now, there are claims that some of these med beds are available here in Quebec, and there are even some Facebook groups asking people to pay registration fees.
Yes, do not fall for this scam. So there are people who legitimately believe that med beds are real, there will be a rollout, it will be free. But there are other folks who have taken advantage of this idea, and they've created Facebook groups where you join, you fill out a thing, and then you are contacted via email. I received replies from two of them, from groups that are allegedly based in Quebec. One told me I needed to pay $300 to register to be allowed to use a med bed. The other one quoted $500 to book my appointment. Do not give these people money. They are con man.
It's not uncommon when we hear of these kinds of things, Jonathan, that they're the usual conspiracies, right? That some people do have them, that the rich have them, the military, the government. Why do you think this is always such a common theme?
Well, I mean, there's a power imbalance between a government and the people they govern, obviously. And governments are not 100% transparent, sometimes for good reasons, sometimes for bad reasons. The idea that governments are hiding important facts from us is an old one. The X-Files in the 90s really popularized a theory that the US government had secretly made contact with aliens, right? And medbeds now are often said to be alien technology that governments have inherited. What is interesting to me, though, is that in many medbed communities, people are fine with the idea of governments having this technology and for them to be told to wait their turn to use it, which is not something that I typically see in conspiracy circles.
But the problem with all this, Jonathan, I mean, registration fees aside, is that you have some people with real medical problems holding off on treatment for what is a fictional promise. And that applies not just to the med beds, but to a wide spectrum of these pseudoscientific promises, right?
Yeah, I read a heartbreaking post on Facebook from someone who was waiting to get the call to use a med bed here in Quebec. And they wrote, I no longer see a doctor, no more medications, but it's becoming urgent. This is like the play Waiting for Godot, but with medicine. If you are sick, please go see a licensed physician. Medicine has limits, but if you are stopping medical treatment in the hopes of getting to a fictional med bed, you are just making your situation worse.
Okay, thank you very much for this, Jonathan.
Thank you for having me.